first half of the book was definitely character driven. Isla
Isla
was
driven.
like, do I love him? Do I love him not? Do I love him? Do I love him not? Do I love Oro? Do I love Grimm? Do I love Oro? Do I love Grimm? And then the second half of it was the plot, because Isla was like, oh my God, guys, there's an enemy, and we gotta go fight. And we gotta learn all this shit that we all tried to forget, because you all suck. Hey, everyone. I'm Becca. He's Matt, and this is Book Club Podcast. I almost used the old title.
We read the third book in the Lightlark series by Alex Aster called Skyshade, and today we're doing our book review.
As always, let's start off with a super quick recap of the book.
Skyshade was published in 2024, and if you get the hardcover version, it's roughly 380 pages. In this third entry in the series, Isla Crown is still our main character, and she grapples with her rekindled feelings for Grimm and her lingering love for Oro while dealing with the aftermath for the Battle of Lightlark.
As Nightshade is ravaged by supernatural storms, Isla uncovers ancient secrets about her lineage, the dark origin of the realms. The primary threat emerges in the form of Lark, Isla's powerful and vengeful ancestor who seeks to destroy the current world to build a new one.
To combat this long-buried evil, Isla must master dangerous blood magic known as Skyries and navigate a web of prophecies that foretell she will either save or destroy everything.
In a high-stakes climax, she lures Lark into a trap at the hidden portal at the heart of a maze.
Ultimately, Isla chooses to sacrifice her life on Lightlark by pulling herself and Lark through the portal into the other world known as Skyshade in order to save her people and, more importantly, both of the kings. I love how we had 2 hours collectively to talk about that story that I just summed up in about 6 sentences.
I know, when we jumped to the fact that Lark was the main antagonist, I was like, oh, okay.
Let's start with our ratings. I actually don't even remember what I rated this thing.
You know what? I'm going to live rate this because I never fill out the thing. So let's do it.
Well, hell yeah. Let's do it.
I don't even think I marked it as finished yesterday. So let's open her up. All right. Red. So I would give this 4.25 stars. There's never a why. Because I enjoyed
your neural synapse is fired. There is a why.
Because originally, when I first started reading the book, I was thinking 3.5. The series was starting to feel a little tired to me because of the love story. The love story is not doing it for me. But the second half of this book flipped it on its head and went for it. And for that alone, it bumped it up to 4.25.
Okay. I actually waited to rate this a full 5 days after I finished it.
Oh.
Because, like you just said, the ending is so good that you get all hyped.
Yeah.
But when I thought back through the book, I rated this at a 2.5. Can I read you the review I wrote on Storygraph?
Yeah.
Okay. Alex Aster writes the fantasy equivalent to Emily in Paris. Is it objectively good? Absolutely not. Do I need to binge it? Absolutely. Most everything doesn't make logical sense. The world, characters, and magic seem to be built as we go along to fit the moment. And plot twists aren't plot twists. Plot twist occurs when a reader is told things and led to believe things, and then something else happens while still explaining all of those things. This book just sort of lies for a mission for 360 pages and lets you in on what's happening the entire time at the end. It's not a good book. And yet it's the most amazing story I've read in a long time, and I cannot wait for book 4.
To me, it feels like she was given a page count and she could write a 1,000-page novel, but she was given 400, so she.
It's a really good story.
Yeah.
It's a really good story.
And I'd like it
I
explored with more pages.
I'm I'm really glad that we agree on the whole, like, the star rating doesn't, because like I think of it as fantasy, right? If I think about it as a story, the story is like 4.5 for sure. But if I think of it as a fantasy novel, it just fails as fantasy
Yeah.
compared to all other fantasy I've read, because the magic system's not fleshed out, the characters aren't fleshed out, their relationships aren't fleshed out, the world doesn't geographically make sense, all of those things. But the story is so great.
Yeah. It's not an epic fantasy for sure.
Like, I rated it a 2.5 and I say it's not objectively a good book. And yet, if you ask me if I would recommend this series to other people, yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would caveat it with, this is not The Wheel of Time. This is not The Dark Tower. This is like fantasy you read at the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I need in the winter. So I'm not mad.
No, no, I'm not mad. Well, I'll take that back. I get mad while I'm reading because my brain is so tuned to how fantasy works and how magic systems should work that I'm like, no, make it make sense. But like, I'm not mad that it is what it is. I know that it is what it is. Like, I get upset while watching Emily in Paris once a year. That's what your sister and I do on January 1st. Every year, we wake up with half a hangover and we watch the entirety of the new season of Emily in Paris.
That's a good New Year's Day plan, you know?
And these books are just like that. They don't make any sense, but they don't need to make sense. The story is good and you want it anyway. I want to go through two questions on Storygraph.
Yeah.
Okay, is this mainly plot or character driven? I always love your responses to this question.
First half of the book was definitely character driven. Does he love
And by
me?
character driven, you mean Isla.
Isla, yeah. Isla
Isla
was
driven.
like, do I love him? Do I love him not? Do I love him? Do I love him not? Do I love Oro? Do I love Grim? Do I love Oro? Do I love Grim? And then the second half of it was the plot, because Isla was like, oh my God, guys, there's an enemy, and we gotta go fight. And we gotta learn all this shit that we all tried to forget, because you all suck. And I'm 25
you
and you're 2005.
have you ever heard that one of the like symptoms of being on the spectrum is procrastinating? Like, you
Tell
just,
me more.
if there is a deadline, you as an individual will not do anything until that deadline. Because like somehow the the end date, the due date or whatever, is sort of what helps make your mind focus.
Yeah.
Kind of a concept.
Yeah.
And I almost think that Isla is a little bit on the spectrum because
Mm.
she spends so much time just like, I know there's a prophecy and I know that there's a wildling trader and I know all of this stuff, but I'm just going to kind of flit around and not do anything. And I'm going to play with Grimm and, oh my God, now shit is hitting the wall and I have to act.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good description of her. She's like, I'm just gonna go to the village and off someone every night to help make me feel better, even though it's actually worsening my anxiety. But I have to do something with my anxiety, so this is what I'm doing with my anxiety. Oh wait, oh, there's a bigger problem.
I get it that, like, I think on some level there's supposed to be this concept of fate and prophecy. It's all written in the stars or whatever, that Isla has to go off all of these people so that she can, imbibe their abilities. But 100% it doesn't read that way. It definitely reads exactly how you
Yeah, yeah.
It's killing people is cathartic, and don't we all need a little bit of alone time?
'Cause it's about me.
It's about me, not Saoirse, me.
But she's my best friend.
Okay. Second, would you describe the pace of this book as being slow, medium, or fast?
I'd say the first half of it was medium, the second half was fast.
I would say the first half of it was medium bordering on slow, like that end of medium. And then the second half was fast bordering on faster.
Yes. Yes. The trail horse decided it was actually ready for the race, and it took off without your consent.
Huh. It took some steroids. It it just went. Um, okay, we're very much aligned that it was a first half for second half book. That's why I wanted to ask those questions. I was curious what your take was. I think we talked about this in the last episode, but the next thing that everybody always wants to know about these books is the spice level.
It was spicier than the last book, because I think more happened with the characters, but I don't think they did more.
Yeah, I think so. Usually with these books, you have like the love scenes or whatever will either fade to black
Mhm.
at the end of a chapter, or you don't see them happen, but then the next chapter starts with "I woke up in his arms," kind
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
a thing. I almost feel like Alex Aster should be doing that. Like she should be doing behind closed doors type of love scenes, because the love scenes that are there, they're there, but they don't really say anything.
Yeah, they're not poorly written, they're just very nondescript.
Like I'm always confused. Like, is he using his fingers? Is he using his mouth? Or is he using the thing down in his pants? I can't tell most of the time. She just feels good, I guess.
Mhm. Yep.
Um, so spiciness, 1 pepper, 2 peppers, 3 peppers, 4 peppers,
1.5?
1.5. I think in the last episode you said 1 red pepper, 1 green pepper. And I think that's about as descriptive as I think it's about as accurate as you can get. I think you could take out all of the sex scenes from this book and nothing would change. Because the love connections are still there.
Yeah, and it's not doing anything to support that relationship. Also, I think part of it is half of the relational scenes we've gotten have been dream sequences, and so I think that also changes it a little bit in regards to, like, it's just a dream."
That's true. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the story, the characters, the twists, high level things. Um, General thoughts on the whole plot arc. Is it good? Did it leave you wanting? Did you wish it was done a different way?
I think it's hilarious that we use the word arc for plots, because rarely are like, it's a travel to a summit with maybe, like, a quick little descend to get to the gondola to go back down to restart the book series. Anywho, uh, it felt very, like, zigzaggy at the beginning as we're trying to, like, learn more information about this ancient world and kind of that part of it, which I actually really enjoyed, and it probably makes me think this is more plot driven than I really give it credit for. I talk a lot about Isla's moods in the first half, but honestly, like, there's a lot of plot that's going on. And then the second half, it's just plot, 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 plot.
I think you feel that way because in the first half of the book, it's very focused on Isla's I love him. I don't love him. I love him, but I'm not going to let him know that I love him because fuck that guy. And then the plot, there's a lot of plot happening, but it's happening in behind her. Astria and Grimm are taking care of things.
Yeah.
Tara and Poppy are doing things. And then Isla's just like there.
Yes.
Whereas in the second half of the book, she's the one controlling the plot.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting way to write. I guess I generally liked the plot arc, but I wish the first half of the book was faster. Like all of the returns to the Batman vigilante rooftop shenanigans. I was like, again, I get it. I get it. Why are we still I get it. Um I felt like there was a lot of quests that didn't necessarily need to be quests. Like meeting with
Yeah.
the prophet's people, for example. I don't know why we needed the 2 days in the mountain tunnel almost unaliving each other all the time. Like I feel like a lot of that stuff could have been sped up somehow. I don't know how. I'm not a writer, but at least I'm not a fantasy writer for sure. Did you have a favorite part of the story?
I think when she and Lynx go to her parents' cabin, I think that was my favorite part. Things started to make sense then.
Yeah, that letter did a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my second favorite part of the story. I think my first part of the story is not a singular event. It was the totality across the entire story of learning about Skyries and blood magic and then having the actual magic system, while it doesn't make any sense, expanded and enlarged. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
liked
did
that.
love the comical moment of when Lark first appears by pulling Isla underground and is like, surprise, it's me. Um, and Isla, the first thought that I think goes across Isla's mind is, well, I didn't kill all those people. She did. I'm off the hook. And then the realization of, oh shit, I have to do something about this now.
It was almost like Lark was like, "Are we going to be best friends? I want to unalive you and use your dead body, but we'll be best friends first, right? You
And
want to go shopping before I off you?"
there was a moment where Isla was like, maybe? Wait, no. I'm supposed to say no.
No, I'm going to throw a dagger at you instead because that's what friends do.
I think that was the most comical part of the book to me.
Yeah, I did think that was really funny. Like, she's like, "Okay, knives don't do anything. Let me try my magic. My magic didn't do anything. Let me punch her in the face. That didn't do anything."
Yes.
uh, did you? I almost feel like until the letter, links didn't matter, and that bummed me out.
Lynx is a fascinating plot tool.
Something that I've learned through reading copious books is when you have a seemingly naive, innocent, young, something along those lines type of character. And a lot of them, they'll actually be children or it'll be an animal. Um, Usually you can use those characters as a barometer for who you should like and who you shouldn't like, who you can
Mm-hmm.
trust and who you can't trust. And I've always found it very interesting that Lynx really likes Oro and doesn't seem to like Grimm. I've always wondered what that's about.
Maybe I need to be flipping my opinion between the two then.
I mean, I like Grimm more than Oro. I think Oro's useless. That's
But Wraith is also the same type of character tool or plot tool. And he also loves Grimm, even though
yeah,
he
he loves
really
Grimm.
shouldn't.
But to be fair, he doesn't know Oro.
Touche, touche.
So I don't know how that works, but
What's your least
did you
favorite
have
part of this
a
story?
least favorite part? Least favorite part? Least favorite part? My least favorite part was Cleo saving the day at the end. And it's not because Cleo saved the day. It's because she had a secret alliance, apparently. With actually, I'm going to change my answer. It's not just the Cleo. It's the all the times that Alex Aster, the author, is like, and then Rimlar gave her the answer. And then Isla went and did her plan. And then it's like all of this stuff happens in the background that you're not allowed to know anything about. And then it's treated like this big reveal at the end. And I think that annoyed me. I'm like, that's not a plot twist. That is just like narrative hostage taking. That's
In the same old veins, I think my least favorite part, maybe more from an emotional end though, is the killing of Remlar. I'm like, really? Did we have to do that one? Could we have just left Remlar out as a little goofy character who helps to give context to shit we need context to?
yeah, I never like when the Gandalf figure goes away. I always think it's very sad, but it always happens in every single book series. Even if the Gandalf character isn't unalived forever, like Gandalf, it's still a major bummer every time it happens. And I have a lot of hope that Rimlar comes back.
Yeah, because he gives us a lot of information.
And I think he's a really good Gandalf character because most Gandalf characters they're wise, they're somebody that you like, that everybody likes. And Rimlar was like a old, mean, kind of scary, monstery, curmudgeonly dude, but was like really smart, and I really liked him.
Right? He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to kill you. Oh, you didn't die. Can I help you?
Um, I think I mentioned like I feel like something that would improve Alex Aster's storytelling and writing is if her plot twists were doled out more evenly throughout the story instead of all being saved up for the last 10 or 15% of the book. I think I get overloaded at the end. And she did it with book 1, she did it with book 2, and she did it with this one. So it's definitely a writing style.
Yeah.
But
You
I mean,
wanna
do
go
you get
along?
overloaded by that?
Yeah. There's a lot I miss details because of it.
I wish maybe a different way to phrase what I want is I feel like because she saves them up for the end, there's things that she says in like the first 20 pages of the book that don't get payoff until the last 20 pages of the book. And even if you don't miss the details, I think it's hard to remember them.
You wanna be in on it as the reader, and she kind of excludes the reader a little bit as part of her writing style.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It is a style. It's not like she's a bad writer. I mean,
We're still reading.
yeah, we're still reading. Speaking of still reading, what is happening next?
Well, I think I could say with confidence we make it to Skyshade.
I would agree.
The question is, are we gonna open the book with Isla in Skyshade, or are we gonna open the book with a new character? Or a new
Mm.
point of view, I should say, not a new character.
Well, I do think we get a new point of view.
Ooh.
We have not had Oro's point of view. And I think we get Oro's point of view because I think half of the book is going to be on, well, not half, but maybe like the first half of the book is going to be split between Skyshade and Lightlark. And I think the Lightlark story is going to be Grim and Oro trying to have some type of truce in order to get Isla back.
I can be in on the
And
truth.
I think that'll like flip flop between Grimm and Oro's point of view.
Yeah, I could see a thruple situation emerging. We get some Grim Oro time together.
Uh, I'd be a little interested to read that, especially because Alex Aster is not graphic.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, and that might let Wraith meet Oro, and I would be very interested to see what Wraith's barometer for Oro is.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that they're successful in going to Skyshade.
Not the two of them, no.
No,
And
which
I'm a
means that
little worried.
Isla's
A
good.
little worried maybe Isla doesn't show up at Skyshade. Maybe this tunnel forks in the middle of it and she picks the wrong side.
Do you think this is like a Christopher Columbus kind of situation where he thought he went to India, but
Wrong India.
he didn't?
Could be. Could be.
S- So maybe we think like Isla does go somewhere, and we think it's Skyshade the entire time, and then the plot twist is, uh, it wasn't. That'd be weird.
Mm-hmm.
So ostensibly, she goes to Skyshade with Lark in order to unalive Lark, but then more importantly, to track down Cronin. Do you think either of those things happen?
If we track down Cronin, it's the last page of Crowntide.
My guess is that she gets separated from Lark in the portal because that would be way too easy for them to just either they get separated or they somehow become temporary allies in a search for Cronin.
Yes, because what we do know about Skyshade is that Lark is the lowest on the totem pole, which means bad news bears for both of them.
What do you think Crowntide is? Right? So Lightlark was literally just the name of the land that they're on. But then you get Nightbane, which is the name of the plant, and Skyshade is the name of the home world. So what do you think Crowntide is?
I knew you were going to ask this question because I was like, oh, I finally understand what we're naming things after. Well, it's got to lead into whatever the fifth book is about.
Which I don't even think Alex Aster is. I don't think we even have a synopsis of that book yet.
Well, it's tied like a moon tide. So I wonder if it like transitions into. We talked a lot about how we've got wind, we have sun power, earth power, darkness power, and then we just randomly have wind and water. So I wonder if it's about the moonlings and how they kind of play a role.
That could be interesting. Do you think could it be more literal? And it's sort of like a reference to the Game of Thrones, but it's like the Tide of Crowns,
Could be.
like a power struggle kind of reference.
That was also what I was kind of leaning towards, but
That doesn't seem to go with the other naming conventions, though.
no.
Hmm. Does Isla make it back to Lightlark?
In the next book? No.
No. Okay. What do you think happens on Lightlark while she's gone? I'm trying to. So the portal is closed, so the storms are done.
Storms are done.
Um, but Isla took the sword, so nobody can control the Drex on Lightlark.
Mm-hmm. Do we think Grim and Oro actually work together to rebuild stuff? Because that would be really delightful, but I doubt it.
No, I don't think so because I think their alliance is going to be solely centered on Isla, and if it's not about Isla, they won't agree.
Yeah, that's fair. And if she's not there to break the tie or whatever.
Yeah, or tell them to do an Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're just gonna have to read it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to sum up, not very spicy, good book, would recommend. We have differing star ratings. Would you do anything else to sum up this book?
Lots of fun new characters. The plot thickens immensely. Lots more history is learned. Some characters seemingly pointless. Speaking of which, Ren did nothing. What's the point of Ren? Anywho,
I mean, I think you could say that about all of the wildlings. What is the point of the wildlings at this point,
yeah, but
at
why
this
does Ren have a
juncture?
name?
I guess I almost forgot to mention this book use like I don't know. I feel so most of the time when you read fantasy, if like even if you recognize archetypes and tropes and magical objects and stuff, they always sort of feel unique and new. But all of them in this book, I just couldn't help but think of Batman and Harry Potter over and over again. So uh, I would love to know if anybody else thinks that after they read this. Are you just is it just Tom Riddle's diary and Horcruxes and Batman vigilante stuff? And I just, what are your thoughts? That would be crazy,
Well, we'd love to
crazy.
hear what worked for you, what didn't. Our contact information is in the description below.
Yeah. And it sounds like we are going to jump into book 4, like lickety split. So we will be back with another buddy read of Crowntide and more book reviews and author interviews and genre discussions and all of the book things.
Until next time, bye.
See ya.